Chosen one. You did not arrive here by chance, and this moment did not find you accidentally. Heaven has aligned this encounter because your prophetic scroll is being touched in perfect Kairos timing, and something long sealed is beginning to open. Anointed one, feel the weight of this hour because you are standing at the edge of a destined moment where what was written before your birth is stirring to unfold. This is not ordinary time. This is the appointed hour on heaven's clock, the moment when delay gives way to alignment and preparation gives way to activation. Chosen one. There is a divine unlocking approaching your life, one that may begin today, tonight, or in the coming days, but its signal is already present in your spirit. Scripture reminds us that there is a time for every purpose under heaven, as written in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, and this message arrives because your season is shifting. What was once held back for protection is now being refined for revelation, just as the vision waits for its appointed time and will not delay, as declared in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. Anointed one, this is an opening invocation for your spirit, a sacred summons to awareness and reverence. Expect heaven to move, expect clarity to sharpen, expect transformation to begin quietly but decisively. The Lord hastens it in its time, as Isaiah chapter 60 verse 22 declares, and that time is now drawing near for you. Chosen one. I want to speak to you from a place that is both sacred and real, not as someone watching from a distance, but as someone who has walked this path with trembling hands and learned obedience the hard way. There was a season in my own life when I talked too soon about what God was doing, when I shared dreams before they had roots, when I explained visions that were still forming. And every time I did, something stalled. Doors hesitated, peace lifted. Resistance appeared where ease once lived. It took time and pain to understand that heaven was not withholding progress, it was teaching me stewardship. I sense that same instruction resting on you right now. Chosen one. There is a reason heaven has slowed your tongue while quickening your spirit. This is not punishment. This is protection. You are standing in a Kairos window where what you say carries unusual weight and what you do not say carries even greater authority. The enemy cannot steal what he cannot locate, and right now silence is your covering. I need you to hear this clearly. Heaven is intervening, not loudly, not publicly, but precisely. Your sealed prophecy is not dormant. It is active beneath the surface, unfolding according to divine timing rather than human urgency. Anointed one. When you speak too early, you expose what is still being written. When you explain too much, you invite opinions that were never meant to be consulted. I know the urge to share. I know the excitement of finally seeing direction after a long season of confusion. I know the desire to be understood, but some assignments are not meant to be understood until they are completed. Some scrolls are not meant to be read aloud until heaven gives permission. This is one of those seasons. There is a quiet instruction moving through your life right now, and it sounds like restraint, but it is actually acceleration. What feels like delay is alignment. What feels like isolation is incubation. Scripture reminds us that the vision waits for an appointed time, and though it tarries, it will not lie, as spoken in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. That word is not poetic. It is practical. It means your destiny has a schedule, and that schedule is not moved by pressure, fear, or the need to prove anything. Chosen one. I want to ground this for you in something real. Think about the last time you shared good news too early. Notice what followed. The subtle tension. The unexpected expense, the delay that made no sense. That was not coincidence. That was exposure before strength. Heaven is now correcting that pattern, not by taking something from you, but by teaching you how to carry it. This is a season where heaven is asking you to trust, without narrating, to move, without announcing, to grow, without explaining. And I know that is uncomfortable. Silence feels vulnerable when you are used to connection. Privacy feels strange when you have always processed out loud. But maturity often feels lonely at first because it separates you from noise and returns you to discernment. Anointed One, your life is not small. Your calling is not fragile, but it is sacred, and sacred things are handled differently. Right now, heaven is sealing your mouth not to silence your voice forever, but to preserve its authority for the right moment. There will be a time when you speak, and the room shifts. There will be a time when your testimony carries weight because it is complete, but this is not that time yet. This is the hidden time, the strengthening time, the time where heaven does more through your stillness than you ever could through explanation. I need you to rest into this. Stop reporting. Start trusting. Stop explaining. Start aligning. Let God finish what He started without interruption. You are not behind. You are right on time. And as you learn to honor this sacred silence, you will feel something settle in your spirit. A peace that does not need approval, a confidence that does not need witnesses, a knowing that what is being built in secret will not require defense when it is revealed. Stay here. Stay steady. Stay quiet. Heaven is closer than you think, and what is unfolding in you right now is far too valuable to rush. Chosen One, as you remain in this quiet stretch of your journey, you may notice that God is not answering in the way you expected, not with loud confirmations or dramatic signs, but with an invitation to slow your inner world. This is where trust is refined. I remember a season when silence felt like abandonment, when prayers seemed to echo back unanswered. Yet later, I realized heaven was teaching me how to walk without needing constant reassurance. The absence of noise was not the absence of guidance. It was guidance taking a deeper form. Anointed One, there is a discipline being formed in you now, a spiritual muscle that only grows when you resist the urge to explain yourself. When you do not rush to clarify your decisions, you learn to hear God more clearly than the crowd. Many people mistake constant movement for progress, but heaven often works through stillness. The seed does not break the soil by force. It grows unseen, steady and patient, trusting the design placed within it. So it is with you. Chosen One, the hidden scroll connected to your life is not missing pages. Nothing has been lost. Nothing has been delayed beyond recovery. What feels unfinished is simply unannounced. There is a difference. I have watched opportunities collapse when shared too soon, and I have watched them return stronger when kept in prayer instead of conversation. Silence is not passive. It is active cooperation with divine timing. Anointed One, you are learning discernment in real time. You are sensing when a question is curiosity and when it is comparison. You are noticing when encouragement carries peace and when it carries subtle pressure. This awareness is not making you suspicious, it is making you wise. Not everyone who walks beside you is meant to walk with you into the next season, and not every voice deserves access to what God is shaping in secret. Chosen One, heaven is not asking you to withdraw from love or community. It is asking you to relocate your confidence. Instead of placing it in approval, you are placing it in alignment. Instead of seeking agreement, you are seeking obedience. This shift may feel lonely at times, but it produces clarity, and clarity produces courage. Courage to wait, courage to trust, courage to let God be your defender. Anointed One, there is a holy recalibration happening in your spirit. Old habits of oversharing are being replaced with discernment. Old patterns of explaining are being replaced with peace. You are not becoming distant, you are becoming centered. And when you are centered in God, fewer things can pull you off course. This is not about hiding from people, it is about staying visible to heaven. Chosen One, remember that divine timing is not rushed by anxiety. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 reminds us that there is a time for every purpose under heaven, and that includes your purpose. You cannot force a season open without damaging what is meant to emerge from it. What God is forming in you requires patience, trust, and restraint. And those are not weaknesses, they are signs of maturity. Anointed One, as you continue forward, let your inner life deepen even if your outer life feels quiet. Let prayer replace explanation. Let stillness replace striving. Let obedience replace urgency. The strength you are gaining now will support you later when visibility increases. For now, remain faithful in the unseen. Heaven is attentive. Nothing you are carrying is wasted. Nothing you are protecting is forgotten. This silence is not the end of movement. It is the preparation for a future that will unfold with precision, authority, and unmistakable grace. Chosen One, I encourage you to honor this phase without trying to shorten it. Growth that is rushed often requires repair later, but growth that is honored becomes stable. Stay anchored, stay receptive, stay humble. Each quiet decision is shaping endurance. Each withheld explanation is strengthening authority. When the time comes to speak, your words will carry weight because they were first carried in silence with God. Trust this process fully, even when nothing outward confirms it yet, because heaven confirms what it initiates right now. Chosen One, there is a deeper adjustment taking place beneath the surface of your life right now, and it reaches far beyond the habit of silence itself. What God is truly reshaping is your relationship with power, timing, and trust. Silence is only the doorway. What lies beyond it is authority that no longer needs approval to function. In earlier seasons, words may have been how you processed fear, excitement, or uncertainty. You spoke because speaking made things feel real. Now God is teaching you that reality is not created by announcement, but by alignment. I learned this when I watched things collapse after I spoke too soon, only to return later with strength once I learned restraint. That lesson rewired how I move, and I sense that same rewiring happening in you. Anointed One, restraint is not repression. It is refinement. You are not being muted, you are being matured. The Spirit is teaching you the difference between expression and leakage. Not everything that rises in your heart is meant to leave your mouth. Some things are meant to be carried, not broadcast. This is how weight is formed. Words spoken too early lose gravity. Words released at the right moment shift environments. Heaven is teaching you to feel the difference. Chosen One, this season will reveal who you truly trust. When you cannot talk your way forward, you discover whether you trust God enough to let Him work unseen. Silence strips away the illusion of control. It confronts the part of you that wants reassurance through reaction. That discomfort you feel when you hold back is not weakness leaving you, it is dependency leaving you. You are learning to rest without evidence to obey, without applause to believe, without explanation. This is faith with substance. Anointed One, You may notice that certain conversations now feel draining where they once felt natural. That is not distance growing between you and people. That is alignment growing between you and God. You are no longer meant to process destiny in public spaces. Your scroll is being written in the presence of God, not the presence of opinion. Some things cannot survive exposure while they are still forming. God protects them by asking you to do the same. Chosen one, there is also a recalibration happening in how you interpret opposition. Before, resistance may have made you speak more, defend more, explain more. Now, resistance is teaching you to be still. You are realizing that not every challenge requires a response. Some challenges dissolve when they are ignored. Silence is not retreat. It is strategic positioning. Heaven fights more effectively when you do not interfere with commentary. Anointed one, there is a hidden courage being developed in you now. The courage to be misunderstood. The courage to be quiet when you could speak. The courage to trust God with your reputation. This courage will serve you later when influence increases. Those who cannot be silent in preparation often collapse under attention later. God is strengthening you now so you can stand then. Chosen one, you are also being healed from the need to be affirmed at every step. When affirmation becomes a requirement, obedience becomes conditional. God is freeing you from that cycle. You are learning to move because He said so, not because others agree. This is how authority is born. Authority answers to God, not consensus. Anointed one, this season may feel slow, but it is precise. Heaven is not wasting time. Every quiet decision is building structure. Every restrained word is strengthening discernment. You are not being sidelined. You are being established. Foundations are not glamorous, but they determine everything that follows. Chosen one, let this truth settle deeply. What you are protecting now will protect you later. What you are holding back now will carry weight later. This silence is not an absence of movement. It is movement happening below the surface where roots are formed and strength is secured. Stay faithful here. Stay attentive. Stay aligned. Heaven is doing more than you can see. Chosen one, as this season continues, you may begin to notice that silence is no longer something you are forcing, but something you are choosing. It becomes less about obedience and more about wisdom. You start to feel when speaking would dilute clarity instead of adding to it. You sense when explanation would invite confusion instead of understanding. This is discernment becoming instinct. It did not come overnight. It came through restraint, through moments where you wanted to speak but chose to wait. Those moments shaped you. Anointed one, silence has a way of reorganizing the inner life. Thoughts become cleaner. Intentions become clearer. Motivation becomes purer. When you are no longer narrating every step, you begin to listen more closely. Prayer becomes less about words and more about awareness. You start recognizing God's direction through peace rather than pressure. This is maturity unfolding quietly. Chosen one, I want you to understand that what feels like invisibility right now is actually intimacy. God often withdraws the audience so He can speak without distraction. Many miss this season because they confuse attention with progress. But attention does not equal alignment. God is aligning you before He elevates you. Elevation without alignment is dangerous. Heaven prevents that by slowing you down first. Anointed one. There is also a purification happening in your desires. Silence reveals what you are doing for God and what you are doing for validation. This is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. God is not condemning you. He is clarifying you. He is separating purpose from performance. What remains after silence is what is real. Chosen one, you may also notice relationships shifting during this time. Some connections will naturally loosen, others will deepen quietly. This is not loss, it is alignment. Not everyone can walk with you into the next phase, because not everyone understands the language of restraint. Let God sort this without explanation. Your silence allows him to do that work without resistance. Anointed One this season is teaching you to value depth over reach. Influence that grows from depth lasts longer. Words that rise from silence carry authority. When God finally gives you permission to speak, your voice will sound different. It will carry substance. It will carry peace. It will carry conviction without force. That voice is being formed now in quiet obedience. Chosen one, do not rush the lifting of this restraint. When God releases you, it will be unmistakable. There will be no anxiety in it. There will be no need to prove anything. The timing will feel settled. Until then, your responsibility is not to anticipate the moment, but to honor the process. Every day you choose silence over explanation, you are choosing strength over urgency. Anointed One, the hidden work you are allowing God to do now will spare you future battles. Many conflicts are born from premature exposure. Many delays come from unnecessary explanation. You are being spared because you are learning to wait. Waiting is not passive. It is active trust. It is faith expressed through restraint. Chosen one, as you continue forward, let silence become a place of rest rather than tension. Let it remind you that God is capable of completing what He started without your narration. You are not responsible for making the vision believable. You are responsible for remaining obedient. God handles manifestation. Anointed One, this phase will not last forever. Silence is seasonal, not permanent, but the wisdom it produces will stay with you. It will guide your speech, your relationships, your decisions. You will never speak the same way again, because you will never carry things the same way again. Chosen one, remain grounded here. Remain faithful. Remain quiet. What God is forming in you now is not fragile. It is being fortified. And when the time comes to step forward, you will do so without strain, without defense, without explanation. Your life will speak clearly. Your alignment will be evident. And the authority you carry will have been born in silence, sustained by trust, and released in perfect timing. Chosen one. There comes a point in this journey where silence stops feeling like something you are enduring and starts feeling like something you are stewarding. It is subtle, but you will recognize it. The anxiety that once followed quiet moments begins to fade. The urge to explain no longer feels urgent. Instead, there is a settled awareness that what God is doing does not require your constant narration. This is not detachment from life. It is deeper engagement with purpose. You are learning how to carry weight without needing witnesses, and that changes how you move through every part of your day. Anointed One. One of the greatest shifts in this season is how you interpret progress. You are no longer measuring advancement by external reaction or visible affirmation. Progress now looks like inner alignment, like decisions that cost you something internally but bring peace afterward. I remember realizing that the most meaningful breakthroughs in my life did not happen when everyone knew what was going on, but when no one did. The work God did in those unseen moments became the backbone of everything that followed. That is the same kind of backbone being formed in you now. Chosen one. Silence has a way of exposing motives without condemning them. When you are not speaking, you notice why you wanted to speak. Was it to clarify or to be validated? Was it to share joy or to manage perception? Was it to invite support or to reduce discomfort? God is not shaming you for any of this. He's simply refining you. He's teaching you to recognize the difference between communication that serves the assignment and communication that serves the ego. That distinction will protect you later when influence increases. Anointed One this season is also revealing how much of your identity was tied to being understood. When understanding is removed, identity is tested. You are discovering that you are still whole even when people misinterpret your silence, still secure when others fill the gap with assumptions, still grounded when your inner life does not match outward appearance. This is strength being formed. A life that collapses under misunderstanding cannot sustain authority. God is strengthening you, so misunderstanding does not derail you. Chosen one, there is a quiet confidence emerging in you now. It does not announce itself. It does not demand space. It simply exists. This confidence comes from knowing that God sees the whole picture, even when others see fragments. It comes from trusting that obedience matters more than optics. This confidence allows you to move without apology and wait without resentment. It anchors you when momentum feels slow and steadies you when things begin to accelerate. Anointed one. Heaven is also teaching you discernment in relationships through this silence. You are noticing who respects your quiet and who pressures you to explain, who can sit with mystery and who becomes uncomfortable when they do not have access. This is not about judging others. It is about recognizing alignment. Some people are assigned to your process. Others are assigned to your outcome. Silence helps you tell the difference. It prevents premature intimacy with those who are only meant to witness results. Chosen one. There will be moments in this season when you are tempted to break the silence out of frustration. You may feel overlooked, delayed, or unseen. In those moments, remember that God often hides what He values most, not to withhold it, but to protect it. Hiddenness is not neglect. It is investment. Heaven is placing interest on what you are carrying, and interest takes time to accumulate. Anointed one, the discipline you are learning now will serve you when doors open quickly later. Sudden opportunity without internal structure creates chaos. God is building structure first. He is aligning your responses, your reactions, your language, your expectations. So when opportunity arrives, you are not overwhelmed by it. You are ready to steward it. Chosen one, let this season do its full work. Do not romanticize it, but do not resist it either. Silence is shaping you into someone who can be trusted with visibility. Someone who does not confuse attention with calling. Someone who does not trade depth for speed. This shaping is quiet, but it is intentional. Stay faithful here. Stay present. Stay aligned. Heaven is preparing you for what comes next, even if it has not yet revealed the shape of it. Chosen one. As you continue walking through this quiet formation, you may begin to sense a new relationship with time itself. You are no longer fighting it or racing against it. You are learning to move with it. Divine timing starts to feel less abstract and more embodied. You notice when to pause, when to proceed, when to wait without strain. This is Kairos awareness developing in your spirit. You are becoming sensitive to heaven's rhythm rather than reacting to human urgency. Anointed one. One of the most profound outcomes of this silence is how it recalibrates your trust. You are learning to trust God not only with outcomes, but with process. Trusting process is harder because it unfolds slowly and without applause. Yet this is where faith becomes durable. When you trust process, you stop trying to control narrative. You stop managing perception. You allow God to work without interference. This trust will become one of your greatest strengths. Chosen one. There is also a humility being woven into you now, not the kind that shrinks you, but the kind that grounds you. You are becoming comfortable not knowing everything at once. Comfortable not explaining every decision. Comfortable letting God unfold things step by step. This humility keeps you teachable, it keeps you responsive, it keeps you aligned when plans shift unexpectedly. Humility like this protects you from rigidity later. Anointed one. Silence also teaches you patience with yourself. You stop expecting instant clarity. You stop demanding immediate resolution. You allow growth to be gradual. This patience heals the inner pressure that once drove you to over-explain or overcommit. You begin to honor your own capacity. You recognize when rest is obedience and when waiting is wisdom. This self-awareness is not indulgence. It is stewardship of the vessel God is using. Chosen one, as this inner work deepens, you may find that your prayers change. They become simpler. Less frantic, more rooted. You pray fewer words but with greater presence. You listen more, you sense more. Prayer becomes communion rather than performance. This deepened intimacy with God is one of the hidden gifts of this season. It will sustain you long after silence lifts. Anointed one, there is a quiet authority settling into you now. Not authority that dominates, but authority that stabilizes. People may begin to sense it even without knowing why. You will notice that conversations shift around you, that conflict loses momentum, that your presence carries calm. This is not something you manufactured, it is the result of alignment. Authority grows naturally when identity is settled. Chosen one. You may still face moments of doubt during this season. Silence does not remove uncertainty entirely, but it changes how you relate to it. Doubt no longer sends you outward for reassurance. It sends you inward for alignment. You learn to sit with questions without panic, to wait for clarity without forcing it. This is emotional maturity forming alongside spiritual maturity, anointed. One, remember that the silence you are honoring now will inform how you speak later. You will not speak to fill space. You will speak to release truth. You will not explain to defend yourself. You will speak to edify and direct. Your words will be fewer, but they will be precise. This precision is being trained now. Chosen one, do not underestimate the significance of this phase. Many bypass it because it feels unproductive. Yet everything lasting is built quietly first. Buildings rise visibly only after foundations are complete. Lives are the same. What God is establishing in you now will hold what He releases through you later. Anointed one, stay present, stay attentive, stay surrendered. You are not missing anything. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are being prepared with care. When the moment comes to step forward, it will not feel rushed or forced. It will feel aligned. Until then, let silence remain a place of strength rather than tension. Trust that heaven is working with precision. What is unfolding now is necessary, intentional, and perfectly timed. Chosen one. There is a point where silence no longer feels like restraint but like authority settling into place. You may notice that situations which once triggered explanation no longer have the same pull on you. You are not hardened, you are anchored. This anchoring comes from knowing that God does not require your constant participation in defending what He authored. When He speaks, He sustains. When He begins, He completes. Your role in this season is not to clarify the work, but to remain aligned with the worker. That realization changes how you carry yourself. You move slower but surer. You speak less but with intention. You listen more deeply, not just to God, but to the atmosphere around you. Anointed. 1. This is where discernment becomes embodied rather than intellectual. You no longer need to analyze every interaction to know whether it is safe to share. Your spirit recognizes it before your mind does. You feel when a space is not prepared to steward what you carry. This awareness is not suspicion, it is stewardship. God trusts you with greater things because you are learning how to protect them without fear. You are no longer reactive, you are responsive. Chosen one. Silence is also teaching you how to let go of urgency. Urgency often disguises itself as passion, but beneath it is fear of being left behind. God is removing that fear from you. You are learning that nothing assigned to you can bypass you. What is written for your life cannot be intercepted by someone else's speed or visibility. When urgency leaves, peace takes its place. And peace allows you to hear direction clearly. Anointed one, you may notice that some doors are not opening yet, even though you feel ready. This is not denial, this is sequencing. God is aligning circumstances to match the version of you He is forming. Opening too early would require you to operate from an older version of yourself. God is patient enough to wait until alignment is complete. That patience is an act of love. Chosen one. Silence also exposes false pressure. Pressure to prove, pressure to announce, pressure to be seen. As you release that pressure, you begin to experience freedom. Freedom from comparison, freedom from timelines imposed by others, freedom from explaining choices that were made in obedience. This freedom is not careless, it is grounded. It allows you to move without being pulled in 10 directions at once. Anointed one. There is also a strengthening of your inner voice happening now. When outside voice is quiet, the inner voice becomes clearer. You trust yourself more because you trust God more. You stop second-guessing what you sensed in prayer. You stop outsourcing decisions to people who cannot see what God has shown you. This confidence is quiet, but it is firm. Chosen one, you are being prepared for moments when clarity will be required, when others will look to you for direction. That clarity is born here in silence. Leaders who cannot sit quietly often speak from insecurity. Leaders who have learned silence speak from alignment. You are being formed into the latter. Anointed one, stay attentive in this phase. Pay attention to what no longer needs your response. Notice what resolves itself when you do nothing. See how God moves when you stop trying to manage outcomes. This awareness will deepen your trust. Chosen one. This season is not asking you to disappear. It is asking you to deepen, and depth always precedes durability. Remain here with patience. What is being built in you now will support what is entrusted to you later. Chosen one, as silence continues to do its work, you may find that your relationship with God becomes less transactional and more relational. You stop measuring prayers by answers and start valuing presence. You become comfortable sitting with God without needing immediate direction. This is intimacy maturing. God is not withholding clarity to frustrate you. He is inviting you into trust that does not depend on constant instruction. Anointed One. This shift affects how you move through uncertainty. Instead of rushing to resolve it, you allow it to exist without panic. You understand that uncertainty is not absence of guidance, but space for faith to operate. This understanding changes how you respond to waiting. Waiting becomes active trust rather than passive frustration. Chosen One. Silence also recalibrates your expectations of others. You stop expecting people to understand what God has not revealed to them. You stop hoping for validation where there is no capacity to give it. This does not make you distant, it makes you realistic, and realism protects your peace. Anointed One. There is a settling happening in your emotions now. Highs are less extreme, lows are less destabilizing. This emotional steadiness is not numbness, it is maturity. You're learning how to remain centered regardless of external shifts. This stability will be essential in seasons of increased responsibility. Chosen One. You may notice that your language is changing even when you do speak. You are more measured, more intentional, less reactive. This is the fruit of silence. Words spoken from silence carry weight because they are not rushed, they are chosen. Anointed. One silence is also teaching you how to honor timing without resentment. You stop comparing your season to someone else's harvest. You recognize that growth is not uniform. God deals with each life personally. This awareness removes competition and replaces it with gratitude. Chosen One. There is a quiet joy beginning to surface, not excitement driven by outcomes, but joy rooted in alignment. You feel right where you are, even if you do not see where it leads yet. This joy is a sign that trust is taking root. Anointed One. Remember that silence is not the absence of movement. It is movement happening inwardly. Transformation is taking place beneath the surface. When it becomes visible, it will feel natural, not forced. Chosen One, continue honoring this season without trying to define its endpoint. Trust that God knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Your role is obedience. His role is revelation. Anointed One, stay present, stay grounded, stay surrendered. You are not waiting for life to begin. Life is forming you now. And when the moment comes to step forward, you will do so from a place of depth, clarity, and authority that could only have been forged in silence. Chosen One. There is a subtle but profound shift that happens when silence has done enough work in you, and it is this: you stop feeling like you are waiting for permission and start realizing you are being prepared for responsibility. This realization does not arrive with fireworks. It arrives quietly through a steady confidence that no longer asks, "Am I allowed to be here?" but instead asks, "Am I stewarding this well?" That question marks maturity. It signals that your focus has moved from access to accountability. Heaven does not rush this transition because responsibility without formation becomes burden, but responsibility embraced after formation becomes authority. You are moving into that space now. Anointed One, you may notice that your prayers have shifted again. They are no longer centered on when things will change, but on how you are meant to carry yourself while they are changing. This is significant. It means your faith is no longer dependent on speed, but on alignment. I remember the moment this changed for me. I stopped asking God to hurry and started asking Him to shape me. That single shift altered everything. Peace replaced pressure. Direction replaced noise. The same is happening in you, even if you have not fully named it yet. Chosen one, silence has trained you to observe more than react. You see patterns now that you once missed. You recognize when something is unfolding naturally and when something is being forced. You sense when a door is opening because it is time, and when it is opening because of impatience. This discernment is not theoretical, it is practical. It influences how you respond to opportunities, relationships, and invitations. You are learning that not every open door is assigned and not every delay is denial. This understanding will save you from many unnecessary detours. Anointed One, there is also a new relationship forming between you and courage. Courage is no longer about bold speech or visible action. It is about restraint under pressure. It takes courage to stay quiet when you could speak. It takes courage to wait when you could push. It takes courage to trust God with outcomes when your instincts want control. This kind of courage is rare because it cannot be displayed. It can only be lived. And it is precisely this courage that God entrusts with greater influence. Chosen One. You may still experience moments where doubt whispers, asking whether silence is costing you opportunities. In those moments, remember that what is truly yours cannot be lost by waiting. Timing does not steal destiny, it reveals it. Opportunities that require you to compromise discernment were never meant to last. God protects you by teaching you how to pause. Pausing is not falling behind, it is staying aligned. The world celebrates speed, but heaven honors precision. Anointed One, silence has also been reshaping how you understand success. Success is no longer about arrival, but about readiness. You are beginning to value sustainability over visibility. This shift will serve you deeply in seasons of increase. Many people reach places they are not ready to sustain. God is sparing you from that. He is building capacity before expansion. He is strengthening roots before increasing reach. This work is unseen, but it is intentional. Chosen One. There is a humility growing in you that does not diminish your confidence. It anchors it. You are comfortable admitting that you do not know everything yet. You are willing to learn to adjust, to listen. This humility keeps you flexible. It allows God to redirect without resistance. It prevents pride from locking you into paths that no longer fit. Humility like this is not weakness. It is wisdom in motion. Anointed One. Silence has also healed parts of you that were driven by urgency. That urgency may have once come from fear of missing out, fear of being overlooked, fear of falling behind. Those fears lose their grip when you realize that God is not rushing you. He is walking with you, and when you walk with God, speed becomes secondary to direction. You move when He moves. You stop when He stops. This synchronization brings peace that no achievement can replicate. Chosen One. As this phase deepens, you may find that your sense of identity feels steadier. You are not defined by what is happening externally. You are rooted in who you are becoming internally. This steadiness makes you less reactive to praise and less shaken by criticism. You are no longer looking for mirrors in other people to confirm your worth. You are grounded in alignment. This is emotional and spiritual integration taking place. Anointed One, do not underestimate the cumulative effect of this season. Each day you choose silence over explanation, trust over control, alignment over urgency. You are reinforcing a structure within yourself. That structure will support future demands. When responsibilities increase, when visibility expands, when pressure intensifies, you will not scramble to adjust. You will already be anchored. This is why heaven takes its time. Chosen One, There will come a moment when silence naturally gives way to action. It will not feel abrupt. It will feel inevitable. Movement will arise from clarity, not restlessness. When that moment comes, you will recognize it by the absence of anxiety. There will be no need to convince yourself or others. You will move because alignment has made movement obvious. Until then, your role is not to anticipate that moment, but to remain faithful in the present one. Anointed One, stay attentive to what is being formed rather than impatient for what is being revealed. Revelation without formation collapses under weight. Formation without immediate revelation creates endurance. You are being given endurance. And endurance carries you further than excitement ever could. Chosen One, this season is shaping you into someone who can carry responsibility without losing peace, influence without losing humility, clarity without losing dependence on God. This shaping is quiet, but it is powerful. Let it continue. Let it finish its work. You're not waiting for life to start. You're being equipped for life to unfold with strength, wisdom, and stability. Heaven is precise, and you are exactly where you need to be. Chosen One. There is a quiet certainty beginning to form in you now, one that does not come from answers, but from alignment. You may notice that even without clear outcomes, your spirit feels steadier than before. This is not coincidence. This is the result of long obedience in unseen places. When silence has been honored long enough, it produces an internal anchor. You are no longer swayed by every possibility or unsettled by every delay. You are learning how to stand without leaning on constant confirmation. That steadiness is not emotional numbness. It is spiritual strength taking shape. Anointed One. This season has been teaching you how to live without rushing your own becoming. In earlier times, you may have tried to arrive quickly to define yourself by milestones or achievements. Now, you are realizing that becoming is not something you complete, but something you steward. God is not in a hurry with you because He is not insecure about your future. He sees the full arc of your life, not just the next step. Learning to trust that perspective is one of the greatest shifts you will ever make. Chosen One. You may feel moments where the quiet almost feels too quiet, where you wonder if you are missing something. In those moments, remember that silence is not empty. It is filled with preparation. There are layers of your character being strengthened that words could not build. Patience is being woven into you. Discernment is being sharpened. Endurance is being established. These are qualities that do not announce themselves, but reveal their value over time. Heaven invests deeply in these because they protect you later. Anointed One. This season is also refining how you perceive God's involvement in your life. You are learning that He does not always guide by instruction, but often by presence. You sense Him with you, even when He is not giving you a clear directive. This presence-based faith is deeper than instruction-based faith. It allows you to move without panic and wait without resentment. It forms intimacy rather than dependency. That intimacy will sustain you in seasons where responsibility increases. Chosen One. There is a subtle release happening inside you as well. Release from the need to control timing. Release from the pressure to prove progress. Release from the fear that silence equals stagnation. You are beginning to trust that stillness can coexist with growth. This trust changes how you carry yourself. You are less tense, less defensive, more receptive. This receptivity allows God to redirect you gently rather than forcefully. Anointed One, notice how your reactions are changing. Situations that once demanded immediate response no longer feel urgent. Comments that once triggered explanation no longer hook you. You are learning the power of not being moved by everything. This is not indifference, it is discernment. You are choosing where to invest your energy. That choice will preserve you when demands increase later. Chosen One, there is also a maturing of your hope. Hope is no longer tied to specific outcomes or timelines. It is rooted in trust. You believe that what is meant for you will arrive in the right way, not just the right time. This hope is quieter but stronger. It does not fluctuate with circumstances. It remains steady because it is anchored in God's character rather than your expectations. Anointed One, as you continue to walk through this phase, you may feel drawn to simplify. Fewer words, fewer commitments, fewer explanations. This simplification is not withdrawal, it is focus. You are clearing space internally so that when direction comes, it has room to land. Complexity often creates confusion. Simplicity creates clarity. God is leading you toward clarity. Chosen One, there may still be days when impatience rises, when you want to move faster than alignment allows. On those days, be gentle with yourself. Patience is learned through practice, not perfection. Each time you choose to wait rather than force, you strengthen the very quality that will sustain your future. Waiting well is not wasted time. It is time invested in stability. Anointed One, understand this clearly. Nothing about this season is accidental. Every delay, every quiet moment, every unanswered question is serving a purpose. God is not testing your endurance to exhaust you. He is strengthening it to support you. Endurance allows you to remain yourself under pressure. It keeps you from fragmenting when life accelerates. This is a gift, even if it does not feel like one yet. Chosen One, you are approaching a threshold, not one that requires a dramatic leap, but one that requires readiness. Readiness is quiet. It does not demand attention. It simply stands prepared. You are becoming that kind of person, someone who does not need to be rushed into motion, someone who can move when the time is right without needing to be convinced. Anointed One, continue honoring this process. Continue trusting what is being formed beneath the surface. You are not invisible to heaven. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are being prepared with intention. And when movement resumes, it will feel natural, not forced. Until then, remain grounded in the quiet. Let silence continue to do its work. What is being built in you now will hold everything that is coming next. Chosen One. As this journey continues, you may begin to sense that silence has reshaped not only how you speak, but how you listen. You are no longer listening for reassurance alone, but for resonance. You can feel when something aligns with the truth God has been forming inside you, and when it does not. This sensitivity did not appear suddenly. It was cultivated through waiting, through restraint, through choosing stillness over reaction. Now it lives in you as discernment that feels natural rather than forced. Anointed One. There is a depth forming in your inner life that cannot be rushed or replicated. Depth comes from staying present when nothing is obvious, from remaining faithful when progress is quiet. Many people abandon this stage because it feels uneventful. But you stayed. You listened. You allowed God to work without demanding proof. That choice is shaping you into someone who can carry clarity without arrogance and authority without pressure. Chosen One. You may notice that you are no longer drawn to constant stimulation. Noise feels heavy. Drama feels unnecessary. You are becoming selective, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Your spirit now recognizes when something distracts rather than nourishes. This selectiveness is not withdrawal from life. It is stewardship of attention. What you give attention to shapes you. God is teaching you how to guard that carefully. Anointed One. Silence has also redefined how you understand momentum. Momentum is no longer frantic movement or visible progress. It is consistency. It is staying aligned even when nothing changes outwardly. This kind of momentum is subtle, but it carries you further than bursts of energy ever could. You are learning to move steadily rather than impulsively. This steadiness will anchor you when seasons shift quickly. Chosen One. There is a growing trust between you and God now that is less about outcomes and more about companionship. You trust that He is with you even when He is not explaining Himself. This trust creates a calm expectancy rather than anxious anticipation. You are not waiting for God to act. You are walking with Him as He works. That difference changes everything. Anointed One. You may still experience moments where old habits try to resurface. The urge to explain, the desire to be understood, the temptation to speak prematurely. When that happens, notice how quickly discernment responds now. You pause, you breathe, you choose restraint. That pause is evidence of growth. You are no longer governed by impulse, you are guided by alignment. Chosen One. This phase is also refining your sense of purpose. Purpose no longer feels like something you chase. It feels like something you inhabit. You are living into it quietly through choices, through posture, through faithfulness in small things. Purpose becomes embodied rather than announced. This embodiment gives it longevity. It allows purpose to unfold naturally rather than burn out under pressure. Anointed One. There is a quiet confidence settling into your decisions. You do not need as much confirmation from others because your alignment with God has become your reference point. This does not make you inflexible, it makes you grounded. You are open to correction without being shaken. You are willing to adjust without losing identity. This balance is rare and it is being formed intentionally. Chosen. One. Silence has also softened your judgments both of yourself and others. You are less reactive, more reflective. You understand that growth looks different for everyone. You stop measuring progress by comparison and start honoring your own pace. This compassion toward yourself creates space for others as well. You lead with patience rather than expectation. This will shape how people experience you later. Anointed One. There is an inner quiet joy beginning to stabilize within you. Not excitement tied to events, but contentment rooted in trust. You feel at home in your own becoming. You are not rushing to arrive. You are present where you are. This presence allows you to recognize God's movement in ordinary moments. You see grace where you once saw delay. Chosen. One. As this season continues, remember that silence has been your teacher, not your destination. It has trained you to listen, to wait, to discern, to trust. These lessons will remain with you long after the quiet lifts. They will guide your speech, your decisions, your relationships. They will keep you aligned when demands increase. Anointed One, stay faithful to what has been formed. Do not abandon these practices when movement returns. Let restraint remain part of your strength. Let listening remain part of your leadership. Let trust remain part of your faith. You are becoming someone who moves with clarity rather than urgency, with wisdom rather than impulse. Chosen. 1. Nothing about this journey has been wasted. Every quiet moment has added weight to who you are becoming. Continue forward with patience and confidence. You are not waiting for permission to live. You are learning how to live well with depth, with discernment, and with trust. Heaven is still at work, and you are still exactly where you need to be. Chosen one. As you arrive at this stage of the journey, you may realize that silence has quietly rewritten the way you understand strength. Strength is no longer the ability to push through to speak louder or to prove yourself under pressure. Strength now looks like composure. It looks like restraint. It looks like the ability to remain centered when outcomes are still forming. This is not a loss of fire. It is fire contained, focused, and refined. You are carrying something steady now, something that does not flare up and burn out, but warms and sustains. Anointed. One, you are beginning to trust yourself in a new way, not because you have all the answers, but because you know how to wait for them. Waiting no longer feels like being stuck. It feels like alignment unfolding. You are no longer scanning every moment for signs that something is wrong. You are present, you are attentive, you are grounded. This groundedness allows you to respond to life rather than react to it. That shift alone marks a deep internal transformation. Chosen one. Silence has also recalibrated your sense of value. You are no longer measuring your worth by productivity, visibility, or affirmation. You are learning to value faithfulness in unseen spaces. This changes how you experience your days. Ordinary moments carry meaning. Small acts feel significant. You understand that consistency shapes destiny more than intensity ever could. This understanding gives you patience with process and compassion with yourself. Anointed. One, you may notice that your inner dialogue has softened. The voice that once demanded results has quieted. In its place is a steady awareness that growth is happening even when you cannot quantify it. This awareness brings relief. You are no longer arguing with time, you are cooperating with it. Cooperation creates flow, flow creates momentum, and momentum, when guided by alignment, carries you forward without force. Chosen one. This season has also redefined how you hold hope. Hope is no longer fragile or dependent on immediate progress. It is resilient. It rests on trust rather than circumstance. You believe not because everything is clear, but because God has proven faithful in ways you recognize now, only because you slowed down enough to see them. This kind of hope does not collapse under delay. It deepens. Anointed one, you are also becoming more honest with yourself. Silence has removed distractions that once allowed you to avoid certain truths. You see your patterns clearly now, not with condemnation, but with clarity. This clarity empowers change. You are no longer reacting unconsciously, you are choosing intentionally. That intentionality shapes your future more than any sudden breakthrough could. Chosen one, as your inner world becomes more ordered, your outer life will eventually reflect it. Order always moves outward, but God establishes it inward first. This is why this season mattered. Without it, expansion would have created strain. With it, expansion will feel natural. You will not have to scramble to adjust. You will already be aligned. Anointed one. There may still be moments ahead where silence feels challenging. Growth is not linear. But now you know how to remain steady even when uncertainty returns. You have learned how to listen. You have learned how to wait. You have learned how to trust without demanding constant confirmation. These lessons will stay with you. They will guide you through every future season. Chosen one, you are not emerging from silence empty-handed. You are emerging with discernment, with patience, with depth, with resilience. These qualities do not draw attention, but they sustain influence. They allow you to move through life without being consumed by it. They allow you to carry responsibility without losing peace. Anointed one, as life begins to shift again, remember what this season taught you. Do not abandon stillness when movement returns. Do not trade discernment for speed. Let silence remain part of your strength, even when your voice is needed again. You now know when to speak and when to hold back. That knowledge is power. Chosen one, trust that what has been formed in you will continue to serve you. You are not the same person you were when this journey began. You are steadier. You are clearer. You are more rooted. Heaven has been faithful in the quiet, and that faithfulness will carry forward. Anointed one, continue walking with humility, patience, and trust. You are not late. You are not lost. You are aligned. And alignment, once established, will guide every step that follows. Chosen one, as this message comes to a close, receive this moment with reverence, because heaven has been speaking to you not only through words, but through timing. You are not behind. You are not late. You are standing precisely where you were written to stand. This is your Kairos moment, the hour marked on heaven's clock when what was sealed begins to breathe and what was hidden begins to stir. Your scroll has not been forgotten, it has been protected, and now it is opening with intention and grace. Anointed one, let peace settle over you as confirmation. What God has been forming in silence is stronger than anything that could have been built in noise. What has been shaped in the hidden place is ready to carry weight in the open. You do not need to rush. You do not need to announce. Heaven is already in motion on your behalf. The alignment is real. The timing is exact. The unfolding is sure. Remain faithful in what you have been entrusted to guard. Stay aligned with the flow of the anointing. Walk forward with gratitude, not anxiety, knowing that what is about to manifest will arrive with clarity, authority, and unmistakable evidence of God's hand. When the time comes to speak, your life will already be saying everything that needs to be heard. Chosen one, may wisdom continue to cover you. May discernment remain sharp, and may your spirit stay anchored in trust. If this word resonated with your journey, you may quietly mark it by sharing or leaving a simple confirmation below as an act of agreement rather than display. Until then, walk gently, stay attentive, and rest in the knowing that heaven is with you. Your purpose is unfolding. Your time is appointed. And what is coming next has been prepared with precision.